Hello Nitro fans, Racing 393. In today's video we're going to carry on with part 7. I got confused, I think, of how many parts this is. That's the disadvantages of having so many parts. The reason I don't do full videos is purely time. I don't have a lot of time, if I'm honest. With a full-time job and trying to sort of do and document. I say try to do YouTube. I'm a bit kind of yin and yang. I don't do YouTube because I want to get rich and I want to be famous. It's exactly not that at all. The only reason I do YouTube is to document what I'm doing because I find it quite interesting myself. I watch other YouTube channels doing the same stuff, but maybe they sort of perhaps fit it all in one video. I don't know. I one is I don't have the time to do that. I wouldn't be able to release that many videos, and two, I've got so much stuff. I sort of switch and change, and what I do, I try to keep things quite similar, but hence why these videos take a bit of time to get completed. I like to do them properly. So as I said, we're on to the Schumacher XTR21. They come in two different guises: a normal single speed, which is the one that I'm currently doing, or the Schumacher XTR 0.21 3E, which is, I think it's 3E, which is the 3-speed. I've got the 3-speed as well. I bought two of them, but the single speed chassis looked a bit better, if I'm honest, at the time. So in this video, what we do is I use my Sanwa transmitter on most of my cars now. I used to use FlySky until I raced. It's not really racing, is it? My LMP12. I realised that FlySky was shit, to be honest. So apart from, there's loads of other sort of electronics that would work, but I went to Sanwa. That was what I was recommended, and I've sort of gone that way with all my RC cars now. The most expensive bit is buying the receiver, but £82 in the UK. That's probably about $95. And when you consider that I've got, well, I did count my cars the other day. You don't know how many I've got. It's a stupid amount. And if I put a receiver in each one, it'd be obscene amount of money. My cars, which I put the receiver in on Velcro so that I can take it out. But when you do that, you've got to change the transmitter settings. It can be done, but it's more hassle than perhaps what it's worth. But it's probably cheaper. So what I did, I bought a knockoff Sanwa receiver from China. I was recommended that by someone in a comment that they made in one of my videos. I thought, I'll have a look at that. When I bought them, I bought two. I think the total cost was about including shipping, was about £68, $75, something like that, $78. And when you consider that's two, cheaper than what one would be, I thought, give it a go. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? It just won't work, will it? So we put one of those receivers in, and we tidy up the wiring. Make sure that it's all working. We dial in the throttle. So right off I'll tell you right now, we're having real problems with the steering. I need to take it apart. I don't quite know what's wrong with it. It's very stiff, which you'll find out. It's not working. I noticed it when I put it all back together that it wasn't quite how it should be. I did check the other one, the 3-speed, and the it's sloppy because it's just the way it is, but it's still free. This one isn't, so I think it's some shimming and maybe how I've built it. So I'm going to have to strip the front down again, and I'll do that off camera so I can get it running. And then In this video as well, I go on about my on-bench in-shed tuning solution, where we can run the Nitro inside and not and two things. One is not gas myself out, and two, not to annoy everyone. So that would be the next video, but I do go over that with you in this video. I think that's about it, really. I've yet to sort of source a body shell or even go down that route yet. I want to get this sort of bench tuned first, which will be in the next video, part 8, I think that'll be. So sit back. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you soon. Hello RC fans, so we're here for in today's video. We're back onto the Schumacher XTR21. This, just to reiterate, this is a single speed Nitro. It's fully restored to a point using the same parts. I've got like an added exhaust outlet on here now, which you can probably see here. It does need trimming. It won't go there because it hits the tyre. I think I might have to, when it's got a body shed on it, it's going to stick out like that. But one of the main things today is, well, I use my Sanwa MTR on most of my RC cars nowadays, and I've always used these, the Sanwa Choice of Champions. Well, exactly not me, I guess, but Sanwa RX493i. It's got the antenna. It's not antennaless, but hold that thought. But they're like, what do these come out at? 80 quid, about over $90, $95, 90, something like that, maybe a bit more. It's a lot of money when you start adding them up between, putting them on each RC car. If you've got like, just say you've got like 10 RC cars and you want to put them on each one. I mean, I know you can take them out, but most of the time is once you put them in, you don't really want to mess around with them. You're looking at like, 10 cars, $950, about £900 or £850, something like that. I don't know, it's too much. What I've got here now, I'm not advocating buying Chinese knockoffs, but this is a Sanwa. I don't know how it will work yet, so this could be a complete waste of time. This is a Sanwa compatible transmitter receiver, 2.4 gigahertz. It seems compatible. There's FH5 on this one. That's got FH5, but this is antenna free as well. This, how much was this? I've got two of these, and they cost, what did they cost? £26 each. So that's probably about $30, $32. So much cheaper. So what we're going to do is install this in this Nitro and get it so that I can do the steering and the throttle via the transmitter. So that's what I plan to do anyway. So let's get it open. It's got some other stuff in here. So how to bind. I've sort of did an official one like yesterday, so I'm fairly familiar. I think one thing I haven't got in this is a power source. So I've got one that I can make up. I used it yesterday, funny enough. Let me just sort that out. Just got like a normal AA
battery pack that you use in any RC, Nitro or electric. It'll work for now. So you get a bind plug, and that's the receiver. So it's well, you know, looks alright. Okay, so that's what we're going to try and do. I think the first thing is to bind it to my receiver. I keep saying that, don't I? Transmitter. So bear with me while I just sort this out. I've got to rename a model from yesterday. Yes, so I'm going to sort that out and I'll be back. I've just set this up. We're now on model 7 on this transmitter. I think it only holds 10. Oh no, it doesn't. Loads more than that. I didn't know that. Doesn't matter. Ignore that comment. So model 7. Now I'm just going to read the instructions. First off, enter bind mode. Bind, enter. So it's in bind mode. That's what it says on there. Connect the bind plug to the bind port. I don't know where that is actually. It was on a bind. It should say on here, shouldn't it? Yes, it does. So make sure that goes in the correct port. It's in the bind port. It now says switch the transmitter on. Now I haven't got a switch. It's going to be literally on or off when I plug this in. You can't see that because I'm miles away. Right, let me just. I'm going to do it into channel. It doesn't really matter. Has it got? Yeah, where the positive is and the negative. I want to make sure it goes in the right way. Red being positive, black being negative on the wiring, assuming that the Chinese do it the same way, assuming that works as well. And then it says hit the bind button, which I'm going to do now. Now on the proper ones by Sanwa, there's a light that comes on. There's no light on this one. No? Oh, I can see where the light should be. I didn't see a light. Oh. Let's try that again. So it should go from slow flashing, and there is an indicator here which I didn't see. The batteries are in. They're the same batteries I used last time. So it says connect the bind plug in bind port and then turn the receiver on. Doesn't matter which way around that goes, but must go into the bind key in the right port. Make sure that's in, and then turn this on. I don't know if it has to go anywhere, does it? Let's try there then. So try it that way. Right, it's on now. I'm going to hit the bind, but I think I had it in the wrong port. Right, let's hit bind. So it should go fast flashing LED. You can probably see that on there. And then it says turn off the receiver. So I just unplug the power. Remove the bind plug. And then turn it back on. There we go. So that's now working. It's bound. So it did work. You can see it's got like the light is on. So if I now turn the, I have to unplug that manually. So unplug that. Turn the transmitter off. We'll plug this into something. Channel 1 or 2, doesn't really matter. I don't know which servo is going to be what. Turn the transmitter on. And I have to sort of manually plug this in. There. And it works. Admittedly, it's the wrong one. But I'm now going to set this up Right, I'm going to set it up. I'll be back in a minute. So I'm going to mess around setting this up. I think I can't do the steering yet because the whole setup is too stiff on here. I think it will burn the servo out because that's solid. So that's something I've got to work with now. I might as well sort out the throttle and I'll be back. So I've done the throttle servo. Problem is you can't really see it from there, but maybe if I tip it up on there. So it's flat out and brake. Now the brakes do work. So that's with no brakes, and that's quite free running. I'll put the brake on. Yeah, it's resistance. So the back wheels, remember, so that will work. Now, next thing I've got to do, I've got to add a switch, which I will do, and put this battery pack, for now, in the back here. And then, it's a case of freeing up the front, which would be, I don't know, I'll probably work on that on my own. I don't know if I do that on or off camera, I don't know yet, but let's wire up the switch, put this battery pack for now so it's in the back, and get everything mounted where it's going to go, and then I'm going to sort out the steering. So I'm going to do that first, and then I'll be back and I'll show you what I've done. Okay, right, servo's all in, power's in at the back here. It's just kind of clipped, so I've got to just tidy it up a little bit. So throttle works, it's all sort of adjusted. Brakes work. Having problems with the steering. So there's something wrong with the steering sort of setup on it. So rather than bore you with pointless maintenance, I'll have a look. I've actually taken off the adjustable steering arms because I thought they were binding. I think it's more a case of the steering servo and everything in there. I don't know. I'll need to look in that a bit further, but for the time being, that is done. What I'm looking to do now is bench tune this. Now that'll be the next video, and hopefully by then I would have had something worked out with this in here. So I've got another one up there, another one of these 3-speed. It's exactly the same setup, but that actually works alright. So it is a bit notchy there, so I don't know whether it's the servo not central. It can't be too. So that's moving, it's moving the servo and the spring, it's just not moving this. It actually looks like it's hitting the bottom here of the arm, the sort of this steering arm, so I'm going to probably have to dismantle it and have a look. I wasn't happy when I put it together anyway, but anyway, that's it. I did say this is part 11, God knows where I got that from. Hopefully I'll beep that out in the editing if I remember. Don't know what it is. I'll put it up in the description probably once I've looked. That's it. So in the next episode, whatever number that will be, we'll bench run it. I've got a pipe running from here, and I'll have it running to the outside of the shed. So it's quiet, gets rid of all the smoke, but allows me to bench run it in situ. Ideally perhaps like this on a stand, which will be really good. Yeah, that's it for now. All the switch mechanism fitted on okay, so that works out alright. So just got to sort the steering out, but you know, I'll have done that before the next video, and we'll do a bench run. We'll get it started and see if my silencer system smoke extractor works. Who knows? Anyway, that's the end of part whatever that is, and I'll see you on the next one. I hope you enjoyed the video, and bye for now.